Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, July 26th, 2017 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I resolve to evolve my joy. And today we have our galactic new year. We are shifting from the year of blue storm into yellow seed, and I will get into that a little bit after some of the other astro stuff. We are in our first evolution day of Sun in Leo. Now, this will happen a little bit later in the day, but this is definitely going to be a powerful evolution day, as we have the Sun conjunct Mars at 4 degrees today. Now, the Sun will reach the conjunction with Mars at 5:51 p.m., but we've had the Sun chasing Mars the last couple days, so we've been definitely feeling this energy coming. And like I said, with Mars energy, there's many ways that we can experience this. I say it usually feeds into passion or aggression. And a lot of times the aggression comes when we are not able to move in the direction of our passion, or we feel like we're held back from our passion. Now, interestingly, I wish I had it sitting right here. I do have it sitting right here. I use this book every day. What will I do to feel the way I want to feel? It's Danielle Laporte's daily journal, and in it has a space where you get to write everything that you want to feel. So I was catching up with some of the old pages. I missed a few pages the other week, and on it, it was so perfect. It was like, how do you experience your anger was basically the question. Like, what are words that you would describe your anger? And I was feeling into it, and I was like, oh, my anger comes when I don't feel free. Again, the passion was there, but like my anger comes from a desire for freedom. And so with this energy, it's noticing if you are feeling that anger, if you are feeling that aggression, or if you're feeling that side of Mars and you're not feeding that energy, that action, that power, that's a key word, the focus, your power focus into your passion. Notice why. And is it, like me, because you're not feeling your freedom? And if you're not, realize that you are free. And how can you move in that direction? How can you aim this focus? This Sun-Mars connection is so powerful in moving us forward. And it's also so powerful being at that 4-degree energy, because that is revolution, evolution, shift energy. It is happening to help us let go of anything that is keeping us from our freedom. It's there to help us let go of anything that's keeping us from our authenticity. So notice this power, this fire that's coming through you, and notice in which direction are you focusing it. Because that's the point of the other astro energy that we have going on. We have Mercury now in Virgo. Mercury in Virgo is not making any connections today, but we have the moon in Virgo as well. And the moon in Virgo is making many connections today, most of those connections with the other mutable signs. So when mutable energies collide, it can be like, well, I can go this way and I can go that way. It could be like this and it can be like that. I'm gonna show you my cards actually right now. What I'm feeling with this, when we come to mutable energy, when we have these things, sometimes we feel that we're at a crossroads. Sometimes it's feeling like, well, I feel the change is coming and I'm not really sure which way to go. Should I go this way? Should I go that way? And you get very confused. We just had this powerful new moon just on Sunday, a few days ago, and we planted these seeds. And this is the story that I'm getting from this energy, from all of these energies combined that we're looking into. We planted these seeds of light, these intentions, these things that we had intended, that we had desired a long time ago, that we've been moving into. And, you know, from this perspective, the rooster on top of the head, you can't necessarily see those seeds growing. You can't really see those seeds sprouting. You're like, I'm trying to see from the bigger perspective, and I can't really see that they're sprouting, and maybe I planted the wrong seeds, and maybe I'm aiming my focus the wrong way. And Spirit's like, nope, 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 it's growing. I can see your light. I can see the light of these seeds growing. You have to take a higher perspective, and I encourage you to do that today. If you find yourself coming to those crossroads, it is going to be a moment-to-moment thing, but take a higher, a bigger perspective, and you will see that light is shining. You will see these seeds are popping, these seeds are growing. If you get stuck in your head, you're going to be like, I didn't do the right thing. I don't know. You're going to confuse the things. You do not need to confuse these energies. You really need to tend to them. That's so strong. So let me get into some of these aspects that we don't want to confuse ourselves through. First, we have the moon in Virgo opposite Neptune. Oppositions are always so interesting because they can be a tug of war or they can really work together. I feel like the moon and Neptune were born to work together. This is at 13 degrees, another revolution, evolution energy. So this is also bringing some shift, but this to me is a sign. Call in the magic. Call in the mystic. Call in your helpers and guides. Ask them to show you the signs here in your physical reality to help keep you dancing along the right path moment to moment. Ask for those signs to glow so that you can see them and you don't miss them while you're listening to the tap dance going on in your head. The moon is also going to square Saturn, so some of your old beliefs may come up, and that may be some of the hindrance to your focus. Moon in Virgo, keeping this focus. Focus. It's a key word. We'll get into that. Keeping that focus. So noticing, while you're jumping from glowing rock to glowing rock, from glowing sign to glowing sign, notice when those old things pop up into your mind. And again, notice if they're feeding into your freedom or if they're feeding into limitations, a sense of self-limitation. And if it's feeding into your limitation, it is time to burn through those. It is time to lion on through those. It's time for you to know your power in order to move through them. I just noticed, of course, I have a lion sitting right here with me. So lion, right on through it. The moon is also going to square Venus. So we have Venus in Gemini. With this connection, I'm feeling out beyond right doing and wrong doing. There's a field. I will meet you there. This may be some other ideas of wrongdoing. People are like, oh, that's not right. You're not doing it right. That you've picked up along the way or that you've assimilated into your mind as your own over the time, and that's lowering your worth. It's not the way we want to go. Again, moment to moment, do it your way. Seek that higher perspective of allowing yourself to glow forth. We're not just going forth. We are glowing forth, lion style. The other connection we have, which is very supportive, I feel, is the moon trine Pluto. So trine is a happy, easy connection. So Pluto's like, okay, moon, okay, with your focus. We're going to focus, we're going to rise, we're going to transform. This is good. Pluto's like, I've got you in and through this. What I feel like you are going to be feeling the most, though, is that Sun-Mars energy. And if you notice that aggression coming up, notice where it's coming from. And, I think the freedom passion thing, it really is a big thing for so many of us. And just so notice. Are you feeding into your passion or are you feeding into your fear? Are you feeding into your freedom or are you feeding into your self-limitation? And let that help shift you. Let that be your evolution. Let that be where you resolve to evolve into a greater sense of your joy. And how perfect is this? I'm actually going to read a little bit about this yellow crystal seed. So, yellow crystal seed energy, I'm reading this from 13moon.com, by the way. You can go check it out for yourself if you want. I love Mayan astrology. I've been into it for a really long time. Not quite as long as astrology, but probably a good 10 years. And I think it's fascinating to follow the things, and I think it's important to notice, hey, this is a new year. This is a time to start again, and I do think we are going to feel the shift from blue storm to yellow crystal seed. So this is a time for positive synergy and expansion, perseverance and commitment to holistic evolution, and welcoming the unfolding of our divinely encoded potential. The galactic activation affirmation, that's hard to say, for this year is, I dedicate in order to target focus. Universalizing awareness. I seal the input of flowering with the crystal tone of cooperation. Being cooperative components. I am guided by the power of intelligence. I am an activation portal. Enter me. And I'm going to read a little bit of this. Crystal tone of this year calls us to be instruments of the higher order, knowing our divine vibration, just as the crystals that we have around, their vibrations, and we feel their vibrations, and we love their vibrations. We have vibrations. We are crystals as well. What kind of crystal are you being right now in this world? All right, instruments of a higher order, to experience life as an interconnected mandala, to welcome coherency and a complex stability, to cooperate with our higher selves, to energize our networks, to honor the wisdom of the circle, to collaborate in community and join forces to serve our deepest callings, to follow the crystalline clarity of our hearts. Oh, there's all that Leo energy. The clarity of our hearts. Yellow seed calls us to know the power of our intentions, words, actions as living seeds cast into the field of potential. May we consciously tend to the gardens of our lives. Where is it? Tend to the garden of our lives. Tend to the garden of our joy, which we've been talking about, and our relations, that we may grow, thrive, ripen, unfold our gifts, pollinate the flowering of human consciousness. This year empowers us to align with generative power of the earth, to carry on vital legacies, to plant seeds of the new, to be the fruit and be the flower. So I think I'm going to stop reading that now at this point, but you can go check that out, like I said, at 13moon.com. But this is so important, and this, we're being told this in Mayan astrology, we're being told this in, Western astrology, and I'm sure if I gathered a few more things, we'd be told that. We're being shown this in the cards. This message is all over. So, where are you dedicating your attention right now? Where are you dedicating your light right now? Where are you focusing your intention? Because that is my final card from 13 Moon Oracle, and I'm going to read this whole thing too. Focus. We've got a crystal skull going on here. If you ever read about the crystal skulls or haven't read about the crystal skulls, it's a very interesting story. But crystal skull energy, magnify, amplify, activate, transform. And I'm actually going to read this because this is amazing too. So, the presence of the sacred tool in your reading suggests the need for a more clear focus. If your creative energies or life force are scattered or overextended to others, this is the call to draw yourself back to your own center of being. The sacred tool of the crystal skull brings awareness on how and on what to focus your attention. Symbolically, the crystal skull represents the process of taking the driver's seat from the ego mind and giving it back to your expanded essence. This aspect of self is the witness who, if you are listening, reminds the ego mind that it is the servant rather than the master you may have unconsciously given it the power to be. Drawing this card represents the process of moving out of the narrow perspective of small ego mind into the expanded fluid focus of the witness consciousness simply by bringing your awareness fully into this present moment. This requires paying close attention to what you are choosing to focus on. What in your life is calling for focused attention and awareness now? What would be served by being magnified through the lens of a clear mind in order to be seen in sharp enough focus to transform it? Simply put, the mind is actually only a focusing lens. It creates what is focused on. The ancient alchemists summed it up this way: as viewed, so appears. You can tell what your mind is focusing on by what is manifesting in the world around you. Are you content with your reality as it is? If not, be willing to watch your thoughts become fully aware of what engages your mind. Have you seen a fire start by focusing the sun through a magnifying glass? The mind is in full service to your consciousness similarly, your consciousness similarly has the power to magnify, amplify, activate, and transform your perception. This is your focus. Focus your mind like a crystal skull so that you become a transforming gift in this world of luminous, clear, unobstructed awareness. Boom. So, wow, on all of the lens, we are covered. This is what we have been talking about over the last little bit, So focus. Focus on your joy. Focus on this freedom. Focus on this inner fire. Focus on yourself as this creator. But especially, allow the joy, resolve to evolve in and through your joy. That is so potent at this time, and it is so powerful. And I really do feel this yellow seed energy. I feel it seeding. I feel it germinating. I feel it growing. I feel it blooming. I feel it expanding. I feel the essence of these seeds, these powerful seeds, expanding and growing in the world, and expanding and growing in and through you. So, that is it for today. Book a reading if you want to dive deeper into your own personal chart, and I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.